See, it's so interesting that let's say a kid, a very young kid of 3 years age.
That was in 1968. That was 3.
So you were 3 years that time?
Yes.
3 years. 3 years is very, very young age, and getting exposed to the wonders of nature in a place like this in Bhimtal, and being supervised by his father is already a very strong indication of what it would become in the future. So it is when you said that they come to you, you don't go to them, and that's why it's a very definite indicator of the health of the forest.
Yes.
So now I understand that they have used a very interesting word for it as bioindicators.
Yes, I started that.
Yeah. So is this word something which was also in vogue or no? So that's very interesting. This is something which is now, which is these days.
No, I started
bioindicators.
I started that. Although some people had proposed in the 60s that yes, you can do this and monitoring insect populations or animal populations, but nobody had actually been able to say what indicates what and why. This indicates this and for these reasons.
To be able to clearly indicate.
There were generalized suggestions, and what happened was that we never had forest fires on the estate. Because first of all, let me clarify that this is a 1200-acre forest estate, and my father settled the village here. There was no village when my father, he was with partners, he bought it, and so the villagers were given rights to fodder and fuel, which did not include oak leaves, the leaves of the Himalayan oak, and raw wood. So when forest fires would happen, if somebody threw a bidi or something, we would ring gongs. We still had the gongs, fire gongs would be around. The villagers would gather. We would all go to the forest and put the fire. And the fires stayed out. So since childhood I've been doing that. And in some years there were no fires, in some years it was a small fire, like that. But the last major fire was in 1954. And then in 1984, it was a dry year, and the forest burnt. And I mentioned that in my book. I mean, the flames, because there was 30 years of debris. And when that caught fire, the flames were 20 feet
massive,
high.
yeah.
And you couldn't go near them. So again, all the villagers came. We managed to save the houses, but the forest burnt. And what happened was that the pine, we have oak and pine types. Now the pine tree is the fire setter. It has resinous needles, etc., etc. And the oak is the water giver. So it's a broadleaf. So the oak works by shadow. So the pine kills the oak by fire, and the oak kills the pine by casting shadow, a dense canopy. And what happened in that fire was that we had some oak patches which got destroyed. When they got destroyed, on the other side of this hill, my father had settled 3 families in a small hamlet, and they were supplied by a water spring, and that became seasonal. Whereas it was earlier perennial. So it was clearly linked to the destruction of the oak forest. So I came up with the idea that if we monitor the return of the oak forest, the oak patch which had been destroyed, and monitor the water flow, we could work out
the link here.
Yes. And you see, because all Indian rivers, well, except the Brahmaputra, all Indian rivers originate in India and end in India. So we control the entire length.
That's a larger context.
Yes. And we have some rivers in India which originate in glaciers, in the snow, but snow itself is not a major component of the water budget. The main water budget comes from rain, and that is in the foothills. And of course the South Indian rivers all originate in forested watersheds, and all Indian rivers are under threat because they become seasonal. Because the forests in the headwaters and the catchment areas have been destroyed. So the intention was that if we could do in a microcosm, we could restart this spring and work out. At the time, geologists had an idea that there's a thing called an aquifer, which is like a big underwater tank, and when it rained, this tank filled up, and then it like a little tap, it came out in the spring. But that's not the way it works. Water operates in bands and underground.
It has its own ways, yeah.
Yes, and the best thing would be to let the forest come back. So that did not work out, but that was the origin of the idea. Now the question is that, okay, if we monitor the water and we manage to get it to perennial again, so it rained today and the water flow changed 3 days later, so we know it took 3 days to travel this distance, right, etc., etc. But how would we judge the health of the forest?
Yes, that's a large big question. Yes, so the best method to it.
Yes, so the best way seemed to be to use bioindicators, that is, creatures that are dependent on that forest. And different creatures are dependent on different things. For example, moths. The majority of moths fly at night, which means they have to survive the daylight hours. And they survive the daylight hours means that they have to survive the searching parties of birds.
Oh, and let me understand this. They survive the daylight, all right. And what did you say then?
They have to survive parties of birds who search the entire trees, entire ground for something to eat. Right, you have foraging parties, and they really go through the place with a fine-toothed claw. And the moths have to survive that in order to reproduce at night. So they have camouflage, and their camouflage restricts them. So moth that mimics the bark of a particular tree needs those trees. If he goes and sits on a different tree, he'll attract attention. A dry leaf butterfly, for example, if he goes and sits on a grassland, he'll attract attention.
It will be kind of very obvious.
Yes. So the camouflage-based creatures would be indicating the health of the environment. So each creature would indicate a facet of the environment, and that mosaic together would form a pattern, which we could then apply to other forests. That is the origin of the bioindicators.
I mean, when I came across this link of this bioindicators,
Yes.
it is just not one event or one fact. It is a mesh
Yes.
of natural activities, which works like a network. It is just not one thing which we can point out that this is because of this bioindicator.
Yeah, there's nothing like the myth of the tiger indicating a healthy ecosystem below it. The tiger indicates nothing.